Yeah.
Alright.
Nails. And you haven't fallen through.
I haven't fallen through
Which is a
yet.
disappointment for me, because I was looking forward to it. But
Solid as anything.
there you go.
Right. How do I get down?
I'll get a truck. That's great from the pub.
Actually, it does look really good on camera.
Yeah.
Look, I'm in a t-shirt. It's warm-ish. Warm-ish. Warm enough for me to be in a t-shirt. Right, here we go again. What day are we on, G-Dog?
6.
Hey, can count.
I took my socks off.
Right, so yeah, we've got one day this weekend because G-Dog's off gallivanting tomorrow, so I'm not going to get down here. I'm going to sit at home and get a load of orders done and dusted. Right, so we're going to finally go and get these lights sorted out. G-Dog's just getting some spot lamps, so we're going to be spot lamping on this beam right up here. Directional spot lamps, so they're basically pinpointing both sides, so that will stop the glare from there. We're also going to get rid of all of this light up here, so all of that lot there will go eventually, and we're going to block up that so we don't get that light coming from, and then this big old thing will be going, and then we should be able to get a couple of pan tiles right up high so they don't cause us too much problem. And I am going to be working on this. Alright, so reactive terrain isn't reactive terrain without some type of water, which I know makes everybody nervous, and I like that. So the problem we have is that there is a drift course, so we can't afford to get the drift course wet, and we need to be able to separate the drift course from the crawler course. So this is the plan. Alright, so like I said, there is nothing like this anywhere on the internet. So this is the plan for the water feature for the new course. Now, given the fact that we have gone along the lines of Japanese, I figured I'd carve a geisha statue. Now the statue, this concept was always going to be, we'd had this idea for a long time. It was just what route we took depending on what features or what style it was going to be. And this is actually the drift road. So she's going to be holding the drift road. I'm not sure if her hands are going to come up or whether they're just going to sit under the road. And obviously in the water trough she'll sit, and the rocks will be in the water trough. So you can crawl down in front of the drift track, or you can crawl up over the top of her. And then what we'll do is we're going to put a water tub just in here and cut this away so it flows all the way down her, and the water will just fall all the way behind the drift road, all the way down the geisha, and then back into the pot where it then gets sped up and fed back up to the top. It's going to be one hell of a carve, and I've got to carve it from nothing. The good thing is, when you're tackling something like this, a statue is from an artist's perspective. So, you know, if you're going to attempt something like this, don't be too frightened, because, you know, there's a lot of different concepts of style and drawings that you can do to use to create a statue. The reason why I've gone for a geisha as well is because actually they wear a lot of flowing clothes, so it's quite simple. You haven't got too much features to worry about. You just got to get cloth like look, which we can do with the drape. So once we've got the basic shape all carved in, we can use the drape cloth to create clothing. So kind of a cheat, but is it? Maybe it's just smart. All right, let's do this. Okay, so we've basically just cut the section out of the table, and that gives us our pot of water. It is definitely going to be a steep drop in for crawlers. Maybe we can come down, around and back up, so it's more of a U shape rather than an in and out. So we would definitely be able to work on it to reduce that kind of drop in. So now what we're going to try to do is figure out how deep we want to come with the geisha, because I don't want her too deep, because I've still got her hands, and then what I want to do is get the road in far enough away so we don't get no splash on the road, and then leave enough space for the crawlers to come around. And we did think maybe what we'll do is kind of jigsaw a kind of shape around here, so this all gets kind of blended in as well, so it'll actually give us a small pass coming around the pot as well. So there's a couple of lines on there. Also got to figure out how high I need it. The pump will be able to be lifted up anywhere in here, so you know, water, I could, you know, this is what we're going to use to fill up on top of her. So she's probably going to sit about yay high, which is about a couple of foot off the table, and this pot will then get mounted in the back, and a pipe will get put into it, and then we can feed the pipe all the way down into the pot. So I'm going to take those into account. I'm going to fix her to the wall with some spray foam as well, and hopefully that'll contain all the water and we won't get a really wet drift course. Yeah. You done yet?
No.
Okay, good job. Keep going.
I am. You know lights take me forever.
Oh yeah. Drag it out John, they call him. Alright, welcome back. Right, so what we're trying to do is block out all the backdrops ready for carving and try and get a bit of perspective of what we're going to be doing regarding the water and really kind of where it all sits. So behind here, all I've done so far is just put 2 slabs of insulation and carved a channel for the pipe, so the pipe is secured in. And then I've got this big block that goes in front, like so. And then we've got this old ice cream tub, which will sit down inside there. And then that means that we can then use the top of this as kind of her shawl over her head. So now what we're just trying to do is figure out, you know, how, you know, basically her head in correspondence with our hands. So if we were sat down here and our hands were holding the bridge, where I am now, the eye line is actually about here. So we'd be putting an eye there and an eye there. So that gives us a kind of an idea of where we're going. Remember, the rest of her kind of dives down in here. So we'll be styrene up and cementing up down here for her arms to then come through here and hold this bridge. But this kind of gives us a nice little idea of where she is going to go with her head, and that means now we can kind of take this down like that and take this around like that. Well, we created a G-Dog throne. That's basically all we've been doing. There you go, G-Dog. Nice little chair for you to sit down in when you get tired.
I can't see.
You finished these lights yet?
No.
Of course you haven't. Right, so basically all I've been doing is just blocking out with styrene the basic form. So the plan is her head will sit about here, and this will all get carved right back. I'll put quite a lot of bulk on it just so that I can get a sloping effect. And these are her sleeves, so this will be rounded, and what I'll do is I'll carve the hollowness into here, and then there'll be a hole, and I'm going to carve the hands separately out of this block here, and then they can be inserted in to the arms, and then they'll have a bit of strength as well, because obviously the road is going to be supported underneath here. So the only, you know, the only strength you're going to need is if they get caught, but really there's probably nothing really that's going to catch them. So now we know exactly where our road is going to be, is about here, and then that leaves this area to crawl down and in. Like I say, we're going to bring this out a bit in this area here, just enough, just a, you know, maybe an 8-inch track all the way around the side of here. That stops this from being bashed, gives us another line, and opens up this front edge to go down into the rocks and the pit. You're also going to be able to come across here and over her arms into the waterfall, and this has actually got a slope on it, so you'll be able to come down into here and then back up this way as well, and then you'll also be able to climb all the way over the top of her, over the top of the pot, and then back down again. Alright, so we've just sketched out the basic lines that we're going to follow and hack away. So these are going to be her as if she's kneeling just here. So we'll create a crease through the middle and just scope it. We haven't got a lot, we've only got about 2 inches or 1.5 inches, but we can get a little bit of depth on that. We've got her hair, which we're only basically going to outline with the knife, and then we'll just roll the edges, and that will then do that. The face we're going to take right in a little bit to give more depth to that, and then obviously her clothes will then round into her face. This is going to be like a shawl behind her, so I'm going to put some cloth lines in this, rough cut all this out, rough cut all that out, because that's the trail going up and down. And then we're going to roll these edges here, and like I say, I'm just going to hollow out this slightly so that when I create the hands I can just spray foam them or glue them in, and that should create that. Main features of the kind of geisha is these kind of shawl from their clothing. So these are going to be quite nice and rounded, and like I say, I'm going to cut a lot of this away, so it really does kind of go from about here all the way up to this point here, so quite a lot carved out. And the same with this side, and we're going to kind of make her quite nice and slender, because you know they always are quite nice and slender, and really kind of get the basic shapes and then use the cloth to create the clothing look, which is a nice way of being able to do this. Right, so I actually found it really difficult trying to lean over all of this and try and carve the face in. So I decided to just make a basic face shape and create a hole for it, and then I'm just going to keep digging it out until that sits back where I want it. Then we kind of got all the basic shapes in, and then I've just got to cut away all the excess around the sides, and then we can start working on some down here. And then I think what we'll do is get the hands done, and then we can start draping it and picking up some of the detail that way, just because we're trying to infill these little bits as well as we're trying to drape the cloth. The cloth will give it a much more organic look. We're just doing what we did over there, create the basic shape, the basic structure, and then we'll use the cloth and the cement to really fold it all back into place and make it look, hopefully, pretty spectacular. G-Dog's powered down system.
Yeah, because I want to get electrocuted.
Yeah, but now look, there's the darkness. It's got a lovely mist setting coming through there. It's beautiful.
Just a big glare from
just
the
a big glare, yeah. Right, so I'm over here. I still got a little bit of light, actually. It's not too bad, so I can show you what I'm up to. So all I'm doing is just V-jointing out the lines that I've created, quite deep, because like we've said before, you know, once you cover it in a cloth, it does lose a lot of detail. So I'm not too worried about too much detail. Like I say, I'll probably create all this hair I'm going to do in drop cloth so it actually looks like hair. The face will be very simple. The clothing will be draped with the cloth. So we're kind of cheating because we're using the method to create the texture rather than having to sculpture it. That is the beauty of doing this technique. You don't have to be an artist or really know what you're doing, because you can just throw stuff in it and cover it, and it looks fantastic. So I've got the basic shapes of the shoulders, and this is the drape. I'm probably going to cut a little bit more away of this here to make these kind of dive in a little bit. And then the legs, I just put some basic carves because the cloth will drape in and then around, and then we'll flow other little bits around. I've still got to do the hands and the holes for there, but we're getting quite close. Obviously none of this is going to really, you're not going to see any of these edges, because we're going to drape it from the back down and get it to really drape nice. Small pieces, we're going to do probably a fraction of the size bits that we use over there. So yeah, we're slowly getting there. It looks like something's carved into the mountainside, but I suppose the true reveal will be once it's all cemented in. We tried to keep it nice and 3D, so as you can see, kind of goes carved in and kind of comes out, which kind of really does give it that nice kind of effect coming through. And then the water will be up here in a bowl. This is what we're going to use. We're going to cut the front down so it's really directional. So it can only come this way, and it will then just cascade all the way down here, all the way down here, and down. And then when you pan across the road, you'll see this and the water, and then the drifters coming across, and then the crawlers coming up as well. So yeah, pretty good. Just got a few tweaks to do, and then I think we might start wrapping it.
Okay, we've got a problem with the lighting. We put these up and they're not giving enough light, so Adam's now decided we're going to move them and try something different. What's he doing? All he's doing is carving a little figure.
I'm doing a hand now. Two hands actually.
So we're going to move them and try again.
Sorry.
And then we're going to try.
You keep saying plural.
Sorry?
You keep saying plural. I've got naffle to do with anything to do with electrics. You're moving the electrics. Stop making this a we thing, okay? It's you. Okay. That way when it goes bang, it's on you. Okay. No, so basically we've got these beams that run parallel across the course. As you can see, putting these big pan lights in, they do cause a lot of havoc. So what we're going to do is hide these around the back of these beams, so you actually won't see them from the camera angle, but they will be pointing down, because in here it's going to be permanently lit. You're always going to have a lot of lighting. The road's got lots of lights going around. You've got underground tunnel over there, it's going to be lit, and we're going to put a few more dioramas in here that will have lights and stuff like that, as we will do next door. We've got this lamp here, and we're actually going to block it off, put a timber frame around it so that stays, so it's quite intense over in this corner. And then hopefully once we block up this light, we'll start getting a bit of an idea of where we're at. But I think where we're going to put those, that should make a nice little spotlight on each area. Where's your hard at? Health and safety. Mind your head.
Health and safety. I mean, I'm standing on the course.
Yeah, well, that's just good building, that is. Looks solid. Right, so yeah, I'm basically going to carve some basic hands just to sit underneath here. I'm going to sit them into there, and then we can then drape that, and then we've got enough room to put the drift road across, so we'll cut that out of the piece that we cut, wherever it's gone. G-Dog!
What have I moved now?
Oh, I don't know, what have you moved? Somewhere is a piece of wood that I cut from here. We'll basically cut that piece out and create a nice little single road. This is going to be a single...
Guess what that is?
What?
Your department.
Okay, cool. It won't be as wide as a course. We're actually going to flute it, so it looks quite cool, and then it'll have barriers so that you never fall into the water, because G-Dog will fall into the water a lot. Alright, so there you go. There's a couple of hands, basic hands carved. You're not really going to see them, so what I'm going to do is they're going to be inserted into there, and they'll just be glued to the underside of the road, so that just when you're kind of crawling and got the camera panning down this way, you can just see that it is still part of the statue. And then I'm just going to carve a bit of a hole out and get these wedged in, ready for being cemented in place. Okay, so just done reactive tray as usual. Just basically piled a load of stuff in the back, and I put some gnarly big rocks on because I found these ones that got some really nice faces and kind of pointed. I'm going to put a nice big one in the back. And we left this wall relatively smooth. Obviously it'll be drape clothed because this is a drift circle. So you'll come off the bridge and then you can put yourself into a drift and then back out onto the bridge and then off on you go through the mountainside. So G-Dog's just gonna finish it up anytime soon. This time today we've got one day, G-Dog. It's lunchtime and you've done one light.
I did 5 lights, but you made me take them down.
And then we're gonna start draping all this in. I'm gonna build this corner up over here, and that will lead us off into the bouncer area. It does leave quite a big space there, but you know what we're like, we'll leave it and then we may develop it as we go on in the year anyway. Well, I think we're doing all right. I'll crack on then, G-Dog. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they can't see it because of the big glare. Because there's no lights on.
Hello, everyone. I'm here.
It's not a ghost. It's like oh.
Not dead yet.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. We've had a bite to eat. G-Dog's refueled and full of energy. And we're going to start mixing up and start draping this area. So, yeah, now I'm excited because now I actually get to see what it's going to look like once it's draped. I'm going to be using the coin cloth for the hair. So that's got lots of pleats and yeah, really excited. So I'll try and video as much as I can without getting the camera too filthy. But take a good look because it's all about to come to life.
Bit of glass.
Well, I think that come out all right. It's not too bad at all. I don't think we'll win any sculpturing awards, but it looks as it was intended. Didn't go too crazy, kept it nice and basic. We used the coin cloth to create all the hair and the face. It was obviously I had to recarve it because I was struggling to carve it in a decent shape, and then I just basically put it on, same as I did the hands. I just carved the hands separately, not that you can see them, so I didn't spend too much time on them. You might see them just a little bit when you're kind of down here, but don't think you can. So you'll be able to come up over this log, over this rock here, down through the lap, and then back up as well. So the drift road will go through the middle, and then we'll create this section here as well. So I think we pulled out a few more lines than we were expecting, which is good.
I think you did.
And then this side is all finished over here. So each one of these little, islands that we've got, we can put gates on these. So when we're doing a competition, you could have to come off the road and then over here and then back onto the main terrain. So yeah, looking pretty cool. It's all dried up nicely. Ready for a nice paint. Got the spotlights on the back. Yeah, get in there. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. G-Dog's scraping.
I'm doing the drift road. I'm getting it ready. Can't have all this dirt.
Although just turning that light off and being under here has definitely made a big improvement of the light.
Yeah?
Yeah, it really has. And I know that one's up there, but even still, it definitely doesn't give off as much glare as that one does.
No. I was
And
thinking
then
if we
with your
black
little
this in.
spotlights, yeah, we're going to black that up now. Right. There it is, the Stone Geisha waterfall. So, yeah, never carved a geisha before, not the easiest thing to do, but chunks of polystyrene and trying to make it functional is the word I'm looking for. So you can actually crawl over the lap. And you could probably get up onto the shoulders, I guess. It's quite broad. But it looks better in person than it does on the camera. I mean, look, have you spun the camera around? The Stone Geisha, actually, it does look better. So we just we've added some sticks in her hair, created a flower. Once this is dry brushed up and it's all carved in with the, it blends all in with the mountainside, it's going to look spectacular. It really is. So the water actually comes from the top and it's going to cascade all down her, all down the lap, and then the road for the drift is in her hands, and then yeah, you will have the two separate lines that you can go, and there is this line coming all the way across here. But yeah, that's looking so cool.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks really good actually. Really good.
Looks great from the pub.
Yeah. Actually, it does look really good on camera.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. Right, so yeah, we're just clearing out this top shelf and we're going to black this out and get that all gone as well. Well, we've still got a couple of hours left.
Yeah, let's crack on.
That's what Noah built to build the ark. He used that. That's a perfectly good bit of machinery. Hey, it's not too often you get to find things older than you.
No, that's true. That's true.
What else you got up there?
I've got a Spear and Jackson.
Spear Jackson, that's a modern. So that's to be goat hammer.
That's definitely a goat. And then put it up on the mountain, goat hammer. Yeah.
What else you found up there?
Well,
That is 100 years old.
yes, and it has one in it.
Yeah, this is a 100-year-old mandolin.
Looks like somebody's played it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a nasty repair
Ooh.
underneath. But yeah, this is
Yeah. And it, yes.
yeah. Yep. And that works, by the way.
What?
That
Oh,
vintage,
this does.
that
Yeah,
vintage
yeah.
compressor. And then, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Look at that bad boy.
Stick that in the Volkswagen. Make the Volkswagen go better.
This thing is old and heavy. Right. I don't know where I'm putting all this stuff, G-Dog.
I think we're going to have to put it back.
Maybe. We'd have this thing built in about 3 days if we didn't have to look for stuff a million times.
Well, we put it somewhere.
It's a classic saying here.
Do you know what? We'll find it when we're finished.
Yeah. We won't need none half of this stuff. I'll try and find some nails.
Nails.
Yeah. Well, you lost the stapler. Well, I found this. Get my end of the deal. I had staples.
You didn't tell me I got to keep the stapler.
Ironically, there's about 5 staplers in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyone ever doubted whether this technique is strong enough? Yeah, I am on top of nearly on top of the mountain. Yep, that's made a massive difference. Look at that.
Stop the glare, isn't it?
Yeah. Now you actually get to see the true.
Yeah.
Looks
That
insane.
looks awesome, doesn't it? Up
Yeah.
there. Look at those mountains. Do you know what? I'm tempted to go behind that just to get rid of the brickwork look.
Oh, the brickwork we can paint. That's not a problem. I'm not worried about that. Like we say, it's only a small bit here.
Yeah.
It's just the light that's made a difference. It's not. It's the fact the light. And once we'd always black out everything anyway. So when this whole area is blacked out, it's going to look amazing. I got some bad news though.
Oh, what have I got to change now?
The whole course.
Why?
Because I was down here yesterday with a friend.
Oh, you come. I haven't played on it yet.
Well, I may have brought the Jawbreaker here.
Oh, no.
And a Defender.
Oh, okay.
Well, Range Rover, in all fairness. The Range Rover did well.
Good.
Yeah, it can get round.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
I'm pleased with that.
Yeah.
So that's good news.
But there's only one thing that stopped the Jawbreaker.
Yeah, okay.
And that was the trench. But I reckon
this bit down here.
Yeah, but I reckon I can do it with enough.
Is that why you added that bit in there?
Well, to be fair,
you've added
that was a broken axle job.
Oh, okay.
Because it grips both sides and it proper twists the rig. And I was like, oh, everyone's going to get broken axles because it proper binds.
So we should keep axles.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. But I reckon it can do that.
Oh, okay.
So well, let's knock it down and start again. No, in all serious, it was it's designed to do that. It's built. It's a great rig. It's a proper, it's a proper rig.
The Jawbreaker is supposed to go everywhere.
Yeah, and it does
what you're saying?
Yeah, and
it does,
and it's been very, very successful. But I have to say, I was really impressed with the little discovery going around because although
I wish I'd seen it,
it could go around all the back trails, it slowed them right down. You had to think a little bit more. Whereas some of the trails in there, you can kind of just go for it. It doesn't really make you think, but you had to take your time.
That's good because when we do the next camel trophy.
Yeah, well, when you think you can start here and go all the way around, and then we can go through the hole and then into the whole new world. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be a long trail, a long run. And it means that also we can start people and they can finish out there instead of having to cross over.
Yeah.
That's going to make a big difference to the play and the experience, which means we can get more play out of them because we can set one after the other, knowing that they're not coming back.
Yeah. Also, if we're just doing out there, they can play in here.
Come in here and play.
So
yeah, absolutely.
It's good.
Right. So I'm running it one day this weekend.
We are.
So that's us done for today. What's the plan for next weekend? What are we going to do? We'll have to tune in and find out, won't they?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not very good at this stuff, is he?
No, I think we was on about tidying up. But you know what? I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm not going to tell them that.
That won't make for a very good video.
No. It will if I fall over.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to clock out and keep that notification button smashed because there's more episodes to come because we still have not finished by far. We haven't even started the drift course. We haven't even started the whole lighting. I mean, we haven't even started anything. All we've done
is built
the bulk of it.
Yeah.
Looks great. Right, guys, keep safe. We'll see you soon.